familiar faces from last year on Houston.
Yeah, no, they're a very physical team, play a certain way. Kelvin's teams always do, so we know we'll have a physical game, a tough game, and looking forward to the challenge.
As a coach who wants that identity for his teams too, just what do you hope to learn about your guys? Do you feel like you guys know what they're in for and are ready to answer that?
Well, you don't change who you are. We just are in the process of our freshmen, have to get a little more physical. I think Francis has done a good job. But it's a growing process. It takes a while to get a different feel. We hope that our guys, as the season progresses, will get better at blockouts and setting picks and some of the physical parts of the game. But it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, and Houston does have a lot. They redshirted some guys. They got guys that have been in the program. They are playing a freshman, but they've got guys that have been there and kind of have a feel for how they want to play.
It's difficulty of defending a guy like Nate Grimes. He went for, I think, 32 or 34 points earlier this week.
Yeah, they really got it going in the second half against Rice. Scored 65 points in the second half, hit a bunch of threes. 23-3 second chance points. So they have the potential because they have playmakers. They have guys who can get in the lane and make their own shots. So they do have playmakers.
Your freshmen been able to build on their performance over the weekend, and you've sensed any momentum in practice the last couple of days, or confidence, anything like that?
I think they're making progress. I thought CJ took a big jump, and offensively it'll come for him. He keeps working like he's been working. Chandler's getting a better feel, Addie's getting a better feel. So you expect those guys to make progress, and they're doing a great job. They're working at it. And we need them. We need their athleticism, their length. I think they're making the adjustment to the physicality of the game, and like I said, that's an ongoing process.
Hinton's the guy I think came off the bench for him last year in that game, and they've got about 3 guys coming off the bench that are now moved in. So it's kind of some guys you've seen, but in different roles and kind of more expanded roles this year.
Yeah, it's like I said, those guys are experienced. They played a lot for Kelvin last year, but in a different role. So it'll be interesting to see as their season progresses. I think them in Memphis were tied for first, picked, and so their conference thinks a lot of those guys, and they are good. And then when they got Grimes, the waiver on Grimes, that gave them, another guy from Kansas who started for Kansas last year. So, they've got, a very talented team, and a team that's been together a little bit. So, big challenge for us, no doubt.
You looked around the Pac-12. I think it's 34-4 in non-conference, and this would be another one that people look at. But have you kind of seen that some of the other teams been doing well early on in some of the past years?
I think our league's got a little more experience this year. Teams like Colorado and Arizona State's got guys back. Some teams have some guys back, and then some teams have recruited very well. Washington and Arizona and. So, and UCLA's got a lot of guys back, even though they got a new coach, they got a lot of guys back. So, it's been a good start for our league, which is encouraging. We definitely needed that as a league perception. But, this next couple of weeks is really, where a lot of names are made because you got all these tournaments, a bunch of neutral site games. And so, how your conference stacks up, really kind of determined, here in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Do you address that with your team of this is a significant game for your resume, but you don't want to make it too much
we don't talk about that. We just talk about Houston being the next game, and this is what we got to do to try to prepare and get ready to play. It's 5 months away, 4 months away. I mean, we heck, I can't think about tomorrow, let alone, just what's in front of us. You just get better each day and working each day, and hopefully if we take care of business and make the progress we want to make, that'll be important somewhere down the line.
Before the season started, you're talking about keeping it simple at the beginning of the year. At what point do you feel more comfortable to start getting more complex?
I don't know. I don't like our ball movement right now. I think it's pretty stagnant. I think we gotta get the guys, moving and the ball moving more on the offensive end. I like some of our defense. I think we're communicating for November pretty good. It's got to get better, but for November it's not too bad. So defensively, I like the progress we're making. On the boards, though, we got a lot of work to do, and then on the offensive end, we got a lot of work to do. And it's not so much our sets, but it's just getting the ball movement, that we need, making plays for each other. I just don't like where we're at there. So we've been working on that a little bit this week. Ball movement's going to have to be better against Houston. They're a very good defensive team. So hopefully we can get that thing moving a little better.
You talked about CJ coming along in practice this past couple of weeks, this week to be specific. Is he a guy who's frustrated with his play early on this season?
I don't know. Everybody wants to be 20-10 right out of the gates. So I imagine there is some frustration, but you look across the country, some freshmen are off to a hot start, some are really struggling. It's different for everybody, and I think he's a young man that he knows what he's capable of. He knows that there's a lot of work to be done, and I'm confident he'll continue to work.
Peyton is a guy who is putting up some good numbers, and it seems like he's made some timely baskets too, where moments in games where it feels like maybe momentum's starting to slip away and he makes a basket and gets you going. Can he be a guy who puts up a lot of points and then also is able to be the facilitator you need and do everything else you need to do in your system?
Oh, I don't know. I think, again, the ball movement that we talked about is everyone, including Peyton. I like the way he's, the ball screen action. He's done some good things there. He's got to make plays for other guys. The ball's got to move. So he's done a good job. He's, played like a senior should play. But that being said, all of us need to move the ball. We all need to think about making plays for each other. The ball has to go inside out more. Our transition game's not where it should be, but again, that's kind of common for early in November. There's just a lot of work to do yet.
I guess part of what I was wondering is, do you feel like there's a couple main guys you want to look to as secondary scorers and that have been identified, or is that not an important issue? Do you feel like it can be team-wide?
We don't have any secondary. We don't have any primary. We got guys who can score.
Yeah.
If we run a set, there might be somebody we're running something for, but there's nobody like we're saying, well, this guy's got to score. We've got 4 or 5, maybe 6 guys we think are capable of getting double figures any night. So defenses will adjust, defenses will play different ways, and we got to be able to adjust with them.
Health-wise, you guys okay? Everybody ready to go?
Yeah, I think so. I think everybody's okay.